Good morning and welcome to Mega News at 6 a.m. We begin this morning with major stories making headlines both locally and internationally. Moving on to the major headlines, stay with us.
CSA fines EY Ghana 360,000 Ghana cedis for operating without cybersecurity license. In business, Ghana saves $500 million annually from gas to power shift, JINAPO. And on the international front, 62 Ghanaians killed, 15 missing in Russia-Ukraine war, Minister Ablakwa.
You can watch us on all our social media platforms at MBN360. We have the details of these stories and more. My name is Nade Degugu. Details of the stories coming up shortly. Now to our first story. The Cybersecurity Authority, CSA, has fined accounting and business consultant firm Ernst & Young, EY Ghana, 360,000 Ghana cedis for providing regulated cybersecurity services without a valid license.
The penalty follows what the authority described as EY Ghana's failure to comply with repeated directives to regularize its operations under the Cybersecurity Act 2020, Act 1038. In a statement issued on Tuesday, August 18, the CSA said EY Ghana continued providing cybersecurity services, including services to owners of critical information infrastructure, CII, despite being directed to obtain the necessary license. The authority said it instructed EY Ghana in a letter dated March 20, 2026 to submit an application for a cybersecurity service provider license within 15 days. However, the CSA determined that the company failed to comply with 3 separate regulatory directives. It said the breaches contravened sections 49 and 92 of Act 1038, which prohibits the provision of regulated cybersecurity services without the requisite license and empower the authority to sanction entities that fail to comply with its directives. Pursuant to sections 49 subsection 2, 92 subsection 2 and 93 of the Act 1038, the CSA imposed a penalty of 10,000 penalty units, equivalent to 120,000 Ghana cedis for each of the 3 instances of non-compliance, resulting in a total administrative penalty of 360,000 Ghana cedis, the statement said. EY Ghana has been given 14 calendar days from the date of the final enforcement directive to pay the penalty. In addition to the financial penalty, the CSA has directed EY Ghana to immediately stop providing all regulated cybersecurity services without a license. The directive covers governance, risk and compliance services, among other regulated activities. EY Ghana has also been ordered to provide written confirmation that the affected services have ceased and complete the process of obtaining a CSP license. The CSA stressed that submitting an application does not amount to authorization to operate. According to the authority, service providers must obtain the appropriate license before commencing regulated cybersecurity activities.
Moving on, a fire outbreak at Frimpong Estate behind Absa Bank at Spinters in the Greater Accra region has destroyed about 27 wooden structures.
According to the Ghana National Fire Service, The fire was reported at about 7:30 a.m. and was brought under control at 9:22 a.m. Despite the extent of the blaze, firefighters managed to prevent it from spreading to a nearby church, 10 other wooden structures, and a story building. Acting Regional Operations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service, DO3 Matthew Kumi, in an interview said the service's intervention helped contain the fire and prevent further damage. He urged residents to take fire safety precautions seriously, particularly by keeping basic firefighting equipment in their homes and having emergency contacts readily available. We should be careful in our homes and also make sure we have firefighting equipment in our homes, that is fire extinguishers, detectors, and also have the GNFS emergency contacts 192 and 112. We are readily available, he said.
Most of the time, you could see now you be at them near you took what the brain more experience attack.
Oh, they be Sana, a modus of gravity. Yes, you know, I a base pump on the side. Now, the cranny, no, your man can soon be Susa, and then Adiana up to Omono. Now, to them, no, I said, we are disappointed, but Sana, you know, in the Jumano, Senator, Joy Jabiseno, Ayakaba could do Intina now, Labadi for any water tanker, maybe a few industrial Sumababo. Metimaka said, they really need a normal my move, said it to me. I had the MC is around a boy Abaso, some man so boy Abaso said, I beg you, my day, at the Abuama, and Jano, Lubia one camp. Until your best friend, the best friend to say, cylinder now you saw with this structure. And what can tell to say, Omuni more can check with Briswa. Treatment fire service. Now fire service in Chomukaya, use fire, use extinguishers. I can pepper Mumanka, but only send cylinders in India, like 20 meters away, 20 feet away from Ubiana Dine. But Usha would do structure. The Pandano woman can do 20 feet. Until you go say, or the cylinder is leading. And also need the major hazard. To me, a woman, Jano, to me spread it fast.
Away from that story, the minority leader in parliament, Alexander Afenyomarkin, has announced that the new Patriotic Party, NPP, intends to reinstate Justice Gertrude Torkornoo as Chief Justice if the party wins the next general election and returns to power.
Afenyomarkin said the NPP considers the removal of Justice Torkornoo from office to have been unjust and believes the circumstances surrounding the decision warrant a reversal if the party regains control of government. Speaking on a car-based Atinka TV, Afenyomarkin criticized the process that culminated in Justice Torkornoo's removal, alleging that it formed part of what he described as a broader conspiracy involving some members of the Supreme Court. The minority leader specifically mentioned the current Chief Justice, Paul Bafoboni, and alleged that he was involved in the circumstances surrounding the removal of his predecessor. My Lord Paul Bafoboni was part of the grand conspiracy against his predecessor Gertrude Torkornoo. Her removal was a grand conspiracy and he knows it and we know it, but one day, the true story will be told. I don't see why that woman would not be reinstated when the NPP wins power. Her removal is an act of injustice. Justice Torkornoo, who was appointed Chief Justice in June 2023, became the first head of Ghana's judiciary under the Fourth Republic to be removed from office. Her removal generated considerable political and legal debate, with the opposition NPP questioning the circumstances that led to the termination of her tenure. The circumstances surrounding her departure have remained a subject of political discussion, with the NPP repeatedly raising concerns about the process and questioning the justification for the decision.
Let's go for a break. Up next is business news. Welcome back from that break. In business, Ghana's shift towards gas-driven power generation has helped reduce the country's dependence on imported liquid fuels, generating annual savings of about $500 million. Energy and Green Transition Minister Dr. John Abdullah Jinapor has said.
Speaking at the launch of the Petroleum Commission's 15th anniversary celebrations on Tuesday, August 18, Dr. Jinapor said increased gas availability had significantly reduced the country's reliance on imported crude oil and other liquid fuels for power generation. The increase in gas availability, he noted, has led to a saving of about $500 million a year in terms of crude oil gas substitution. He said increased domestic gas production, supported by collaboration with industry partners, had significantly cut Ghana's crude oil imports requirements. When we assumed office, we were importing so much crude oil and other liquid fuels, the minister said. Dr. Jinapor explained that the government's focus on expanding gas supply had strengthened the country's energy security, adding that working with ENI and these other partners and working with the Jubilee partners, we've significantly increased gas production. He said the development aligns with the government's broader gas to power strategy, which seeks to maximize Ghana's natural gas resources while supporting a transition towards cleaner energy sources. We will maximize our petroleum resources while promoting renewable energy to complement that, he added. Dr. Jinapor also highlighted recent improvements in upstream oil production, noting that output had recovered from about 90,000 barrels per day to 126,000 barrels per day following interventions to address challenges affecting operators.
Up next is international news. On the international front, 62 Ghanaian citizens have been killed, while another 15 remain missing after traveling to Russia amid the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has disclosed.
Mr. Ablakwa made the disclosure during a press conference in Moscow following bilateral talks with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. In a subsequent post on X, Mr. Ablakwa wrote, "Unfortunately, the number of Ghanaian deaths in Russia has gone up. 62 Ghanaians have now died and 15 who traveled to Russia remain missing." The minister said a key issue raised during his discussions with Mr. Lavrov was the need to stop the alleged illegal recruitment of Ghanaian citizens who are lured to Russia and subsequently enlisted to participate in military operations. He said Ghana was particularly concerned about the recruitment of young people who are promised employment opportunities but eventually find themselves involved in the Russian-Ukraine war. During our press conference in Moscow with Foreign Minister Lavrov after our bilateral engagement, I disclosed that an important matter to Ghana was how to stop the illegal recruitment of Ghanaian youth who are lured and end up fighting in the Russia-Ukraine war, Mr. Ablakwa said. According to the minister, the Russian government has pledged to work with Ghana to prevent the illegal enlistment of Ghanaian citizens into military operations. I welcome the pledge of the Russian government to work with the government of Ghana to stop the illegal enlistment of our youth, he said. Mr. Ablakwa said the Ghanaian government would continue engaging Russian authorities and advocating for measures to protect Ghanaian citizens from being recruited into the conflict. The government of Ghana will continue to lead advocacy on this matter matter and ensure that our youth are protected from harm's way. This is not our war and it should not be claiming Guinean lives, he added. The disclosure comes amid concerns over reports of Guinean nationals being recruited to Russia under the guise of employment before being deployed to participate in the war against Ukraine.
In our bilateral meeting, we raised the matter of a growing number of Ghanaian youth who are being lured to fight in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And we are seeing an increase in casualties. About 62 Ghanaians have lost their lives and 15 of them are missing. So I did raise the matter, and I'm happy with the response from Foreign Minister Lavrov, who has pledged that we can work together to stop these illegal recruitments happening on the blind side of our two governments, so that we can protect the lives of young people who are being lured on the front lines. So I want to assure Ghanaians back home that that matter, which is of concern to Ghanaians, how we work together to make sure our young people are protected and are safe. I have raised the matter, and I have received very encouraging response from Foreign Minister Lavrov, and we will continue to work together to stop those illegal recruitment channels so that we can protect the lives of our nationals. So overall, it's been a very, very good bilateral engagement, and I want to thank Foreign Minister Lavrov and his team and my colleagues for a very, very successful engagement. Thank you very much.
That's all for today at Mega News at 6 a.m. But before we go, let's take a recap of the major headlines.
CSA fines EY Ghana 360,000 Ghana cedis for operating without cybersecurity license. In business, Ghana saves $500 million annually from gas to power shift, JINAPO. And on the international front, 62 Ghanaians killed, 15 missing in Russia-Ukraine war, Minister Ablakwa.
My name is Nadia Degogo. See you same time tomorrow morning. Enjoy the rest of our programs.